Hello and welcome back to Speed Freak Garage, home of power sports on YouTube. So today we are going to try and get our manifolds installed. So first thing we need to do is go ahead and pull all this protective stuff off. Just do one side at a time. So then we need our manifold, and unfortunately this side has a little issue with the bolt stripping, so one of the bolts is the wrong size. So this gasket needs to go like this, maybe like that. Like this, okay? And then, yeah, this is gonna suck doing it on the car. So then I need to get my special bolt in here that corresponds with the new threads we had to run due to the little incident with the cross-threading, which I would argue that I didn't do it and that the engine rebuilder did it, or a previous owner of the heads did it. Very frustrating either way. We're just gonna get that in there a little bit. We don't want to overdo it and mess up our gasket, so now these special lock bolts will hold the rest of it in. So hopefully that non-locking bolt doesn't vibrate loose. It probably will, but hopefully the rest of the bolts will do their job. So remembering previous experience, these bolts are not the bolts, but the head is very delicate to I don't know, just everything. Like, it just never really went on the way you'd think it should. So we have to be very careful not to cross thread anything. We have to be really mindful of our like right there, it was already trying to cross thread. It's just, I don't know, you think they would have used much larger bolts for something like this, but I don't know, they chose these type of bolts. It's confusing to say the least. So again, I'm just getting everything started by hand so we don't make any mistakes that we'll regret. I don't really, of course, right in the dirt. Ew. So, just get everything started by hand. That bolt looks way out of place. I hope it's not going to interfere with the spark plug boot. Alright, and there's one more to do, just this back one. And I can already tell just by looking at it that the manifold itself is kind of warped again. I mean, the previous one was warped too, so it's not a surprise, but definitely going to take a little bit of creative problem solving to fix that. So first thing we want to do is get everything to 10 foot-pounds, okay? And then from there, you go up to the 18 foot-pounds. And you want to do this, it's 11, I think it was 11. You want to do this incrementally, otherwise you're going to cause issues. So, of course that's in the way. So you always want to tighten the inside first. That way we hopefully will get a nice level seat. This was hard enough to do when it wasn't in the vehicle. Yeah, I mean, that's not seating at all. Have to switch out here real quick. It's gonna make this side a little harder too, having to switch between them, and we have to be careful not to over torque this big one. Okay, so I'm having a fucking huge pain in the ass time trying to, let me see if I can get away with using the small ones, short ones. Okay, so now we want to go to 10 foot-pounds. And I'm scared to death to strip the head because it's already happened once. Okay, now we go here. Okay, now we go up here. Okay, now we gotta switch to this one. Just worrying me already. Okay. Whew. And then back to this one. Okay, so that's 10 or 11 foot-pounds. Now we got to jump up to 15, 16, 17, 18 foot-pounds. Okay, here we go. Moment of truth. Will it hold? Okay, 18 foot-pounds. And then this one's very iffy. Okay. time. Oh boy. Okay. All right, so I'm not gonna go over them again because they're so weak and so soft that, you know, if we have a leak issue, then we'll come back and go back over them. But I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna leave it, you know, I'm not gonna try my luck today. I'm not in a good mood today. My stress level's off the fucking charts, so let's call that good, successful. Okay, now we go over here, and I determined that I'm going to have to, I'm going to have to remove the steering shaft and redo it. I might as well do that now, I guess. Would make sense, right? I think it was, I guess a 13, but it could be a 12. Well, 13 was the right guess. Okay. So that sucks, because it might not come off so easy since I tightened the shit out of it. So, let's see. Put it on full power. Well. What size is that other side? Sorry. I'm assuming it's also a 13. Be a lucky guess. Shit, everything's so crowded. Yep, okay, 2 13s. So, gotta get this on the back here. Ow. Okay. I'm not gonna need this tool at all today, except for that part. So, let's see. Now, in order for this to come off, I need to get this stud out, and it'll come right off. That's very lucky. It's very, very lucky. Okay. The problem is nylocks are really only meant to be used one time. Looks like this one has just a little bit of bite left, so I could probably should replace it. I think I ordered a fuck ton of those. I don't think it's worth risking it. Yeah, I can just put a new one on. Not worth the risk. It's 10 cents versus your life hanging in the balance, you know. How much is a hospital visit? Yeah. Put a new fucking lock nut on it. You know what I mean? Don't be a dumbass. Oh, I'm gonna reuse this nylock nut. Dead. Okay. Sorry. Sorry for the lecture. All right, now this one. Okay, goes here. We will stick a bolt through to kind of hold everything together. So we drop it all down in. And I'm hoping once this is tightened up, it'll clear the oil distribution block, because if not, that's going to be a serious problem. Okay, I don't want to tighten it too much while I get everything else lined out. Man, that water temperature sensor is close. I'm amazed this thing wouldn't just blatantly overheat from the radiant. Luckily these are ceramic coated, but still the radiant heat from these is going to be insanely high. Definitely going to have to make sure to keep my wire harnesses far away. In fact, I think the wire harness is going to run right along under the coolant bottle, hopefully, and right through, down, and through, and nowhere near any of this. The engine harness will probably have to go, like, you know, here to, man, I don't even fucking know. That's a whole nother fiasco. Probably through one of those holes and around. We will see. Lots of work to do. Okay, so now we can do this. Come on. That's a little concerning. The threads are kind of dirty. It's not a good sign. There we go. Okay. And yeah, that's gonna be a pain in the ass to figure out how to get brakes to clear all this and not also get overwhelmed by the heat of the headers, because wow. I mean, just look at how close the brake system is going to be to the engine. And I still don't understand where the hell the steering rack comes into play. We'll find out the hard way, I guess, if the steering even fits. And I got the bolts in for the steering rack. I forgot I had ditched them because they were so badly rusted. I didn't want to risk it. So I got new rubber, like OEM rubber bushings for the steering rack because, uh-oh. This one's not wanting to play ball. There we go. Whew. That one almost just cross-threaded. Would have been a nightmare. Probably impossible to fix without pulling the head off, honestly. Would have been where we ended up with that. So this manifold looks much flatter. It's not nearly as badly warped as the other side was. So I think, oh, right, there's an extra. Get these coils out of my way. I also want to mount the transaxle, because that's kind of part of getting the fueling system ready, is figuring out the clearances on the transaxle. Anyway, so go ahead and hand tighten all these. Okay, now we'll switch back to the torque wrench, which we need to set back down to 11 foot-pounds for the first pass. So 11 foot-pounds. Now we're gonna go first pass. Gotta get everything snug first, sorry, so I'm gonna get everything and it looks like the manifolds are just barely gonna clear the oil distribution block. Now if we ever have to work on it, we're screwed, which when the engine was, when we took the headers off, or the manifolds off, to work on the engine last time, we increased the torque on the bolts holding the oil block on. So we believe that we got it tight enough that it shouldn't ever need service. Because if it does, I have no clue how I would ever get those bolts tighter with the manifold in the way. This whole car is a freaking nightmare. But it should be fucking legit once it's actually running. Okay, so 11 foot-pounds, here we come. It's not much, you could miss it. Okay, now we gotta look which part has more gap. I'm going to say the front has more gap. So we're gonna go ahead and do the front first. And that's just a lesson I learned from the first 2 times I put these damn things on. I'm not liking that. Okay. And I'm being cautious because I already stripped one out. I don't need to strip another one out and, again, have to take the heads off because there's no way in fuck I'm ever going to take this engine out of this car unless it fucking blows a rod out the bottom of the block. I'd rather rebuild the whole engine while it's sitting here inside the car than ever even try to take it back out of the car. No fucking way. I mean, you probably could rebuild the majority of the engine sitting here in the car. Okay, I think the hardest part would be dealing with all this up here. Like, I'm still worried there's the possibility I used the wrong cam gears for the timing sensor. The quick fix would be to, well, no, because the cam would not be, no, the only fix would be to take this back off, take the timing cover off, and then pull that cam gear and replace it with an X4. Because right now I think it's called an X2, and there's an X4 version for newer car. I don't fucking. It's supposed to be simple, but it's not. Okay. 17, 18. Okay, 18 foot-pounds. Here we go, we're gonna finish it up. And again, we're only gonna do one pass. It's not worth stripping one of these out. I mean, it's not worth stripping in general, really. You're just kind of selling your soul if you're gonna start stripping. Okay. Last one. Okay. Now we need to switch, well, set this down to storage. And then, oh, it's upside down. Okay, and then we're going to switch to some very light-duty hand tools for the rest of the job. So the last thing we want to do is fucking strip the valve cover out again. Fuck my life, motherfucker. Okay. Alright. Shit. They look identical, I would assume. And I switched over to all identical. Okay. So these just kind of go here for now, and they bolt in like this. Uh-oh, what's going on? They're not... What am I hitting? I'm hitting something. What the hell am I doing wrong here? Interesting. It was amazing. These brushed aluminum brackets I got from Amazon for way cheaper than anything those fuckers on Jigs or Summit or anywhere else were trying to charge. I mean, literally, everywhere else was just trying to fucking rip you off, just fucking rob you blind, basically. I mean, it's just a little tiny piece of brushed aluminum. It's not, you know, some super critical, important component. No. All right. So snug her down. And it looks good. It blends right in. I know a lot of people are complaining about how it's brushed aluminum. It's like, what? Who cares? It's about being fast, not pretty. Okay, and that's fucking tight. And now we can come back and we can connect our plug boots carefully. It's kind of a pain in the ass to connect them. I think that's connected. I can't tell. It's hard to tell with this fire sleeve in the way. I mean, it's necessary, but it also makes life way, way more difficult. You know what? I need to knock that. I need to knock that off before it fucks up a plug wire. Where'd my rubber mallet go? Where the hell is my rubber mallet? Interesting. Well. Okay. That hopefully will now will not cut my plug wire. Need to figure out what happened to my missing rubber mallet. What was I doing? Oh yes, trying to get the plug plugged in. So we're going to... Yeah, fuck my life. This sucks. Oh, that's... This is disappointing. It won't plug in. Fuck you! Motherfucker. I don't understand. Something fucking broken or what? Okay, that one went in. And then now this one. Okay, that one went in. Man, that is gonna be a shit show as far as keeping those plug wires from getting fucked up and melting or whatever. That is gonna suck dick. I could probably turn that one like all the way the hell down. That way it's not interfering with anything. Okay, now the question is, why won't this one plug in? Why is it giving me a hard time? It's pissing me off. Got it. See, that was a good positive snap. Okay. Okay. Whew. Man, I'm sweating. I shouldn't be sweating, but I'm sweating. Okay. Next, and if you're wondering, I already have dielectric grease on the plugs and inside of these plugs from previous attempts with this god-awful nightmare of a and that almost doesn't clear the oil. Doesn't clear the oil thing, oil cap. That's a close call there. Okay, this is extra. Don't know why I left that over there. Okay. Okay, now all we got to do, get the plugs plugged in. And we've actually officially, once the plugs are plugged in, we have officially made forward progress. Because up until now, without the manifolds and shit that should have been done a long time ago, we haven't really been making forward progress. We've just been kind of treading water. Okay, so the hardest one is going to be this one. So my main hope is that the plug wire clears the pipe, which it doesn't, of course. If I turn it down like this, it just barely, barely fucking clears, but I mean, it's gonna, when it vibrates and moves, when the vehicle's running. But there's no way you're gonna be able to change that spark plug. You know, all the other positions you can change the spark plug. If this pipe would just come down a little bit before it goes over, it would be really easy to fix the design flaw. I'm serious. I mean, I used to be a design engineer, so don't even get me started on that shit. Okay. Yeah, that bolts, that's exactly what I thought was gonna happen, is that frickin' bolt's gonna be like right in the frickin' way. We're just gonna have to hope that this is good enough. Okay, and then this one's clear sailing, basically. Just turn it like this. Okay. Again, we got to make sure these others are in. Okay. All right, there we go. These plug wires are way longer than they needed to be, of course, but it's just kind of how it is. And that's all I can handle for tonight. But that's a pretty good freaking night, if you ask me. So, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.